I am Mrs. La-Dene Forrester Lambe, and I'd like to welcome you to Cmps 3012 Management Information Systems. In tonight's session, you will hear from the consulting groups as they deliver solutions prepared for the scenario presented in practical project number 3. Additionally, you'll be given the opportunity to assess each presenting group on their performance tonight. I look forward to this collaborative effort and these carefully considered presentations. The purpose of these sessions is to ensure that students understand what is due, when it's due, and how to get all points. It's to ensure that you don't fall behind in your coursework and to ensure also that your groups are functioning properly. How are we doing this though? Let's look at some things we've done. We've used collaboration. Zoom is a collaborative tool that allows us to meet in a virtual environment. And through Zoom, we have done team building activities. Interactive slides have been placed on the learning management system, Moodle, and these slides are accompanied with questions for you to constantly test your knowledge. We've also used gamification and we've done case study presentations, and these have been prepared by your colleagues. Research project is ongoing as you sharpen your investigative skills, and of course, we have practical projects that you are actively working on for each unit. And finally, you completed your first test. Congratulations for making it this far. Please ensure that your case studies have your name, the date, as well as the topic. You must share with us a takeaway message, as well as the objectives of your research and the relevance of it to the class, as well as the topics being presented in the unit. Cheyenne and Leon say, I haven't received the following forms from you. They're on the screen. You will start the form by selecting the presenting group and entering the topic that is being presented. 3 areas are being assessed: the organization of the presentation, content, and of course, delivery. Under organization, there are 3 things: the type of presentation, the logical sequence, and of course, whether or not references were used. Under content, we look at how the topic is introduced, whether or not you use an attention-getting introduction. Are technical terms broken down? Does it contain accurate information in your presentation? The materials used, are they relevant? As we assess the presentation delivery, there are certain criteria. We look at how well you were able to maintain eye contact. To do this, you must have your camera on as you present, and after your presentation has concluded, you may turn your camera off. I'm going to take the attendance and then we will jump into our first presenter for tonight. So this week I decided to start the presentations from the last group going forward. So we will start with group 4 and then group 3. Shanile, Khadija, Shanice, Juana,
Here, Miss.
Tiana,
Here.
Daniel,
Present.
Vanetta,
Here, Miss.
Dominic, Karen, Keisha,
Here, Miss.
Martha, Martha is Shanika,
Miss Shanika had an emergency. She won't be able to make it tonight.
okay, thank you. Zolmi, Natasha,
Here.
Diona, Gabriel,
Here, Miss.
Starla,
She's stuck at work, miss.
Okay, thank you. Jalen?
Here.
Annalie? All right, so I did get a message from Zolme and Martha that both of them are not well. Shanika explained her situation as well, but the others are marked absent. And of course, the group leader explained for Starla. So Annalie, Deona, Karen, Dominic, Shanice, Tidicha, and Shanley are absent.
Hello, good night, good night. Present, miss. I know I'm late.
Oh, that's Dominic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I'm sharing in the chat the rubric that you'll be using to grade the presenting groups by. We're starting with groups 4 first, and then we move on to group 3. If for any reason you weren't able to present, you should have informed me before class. All right, so let's start with group number 4. That group has Tidicha, Juana, Shanice, Annalie, and Shanley. You guys can just share your screen.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, Daniel?
For the grading rubric, the part where it says topic, everyone will have the same topic.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Good night, miss. Sorry for the wait. Miss, we're still waiting for one group member, and I'm currently finishing a quiz for business statistics class, miss. So sorry for the late.
I'm going to ask group 3 to go ahead then, because I see most of their members here. Hopefully by the time they're finished, your group is ready to present, okay? So Jalen, you guys can take over and do your presentation first. We were going to go in reverse order. But Dicha, there is a link in the chat that you can use. That's the link that we're using to assess group number 3 by. So all the members who are not in group 3, you're to click on that link and go ahead and evaluate them. The topic will be the same, of course.
Miss, I'm not able to see the link, miss. I just joined.
Okay, I'm going to paste it again. Are you seeing it now?
Yes, mom.
Okay, thanks. And thank you, Jalen, for being willing to go ahead. All right.
Miss, we have to put down like camera.
Just the presenter.
All right, so good night, everyone. My group and I will be presenting on identifying opportunities for strategic information systems. Unfortunately, 3 of our group members aren't here. So only me and Gabriel will be presenting tonight. So firstly, the organization description, specifically the structure and business processes, collections of routines, professional bureaucracy. One, innovates and provide high quality service and has a good impact in the implementation and utilization of the information systems. So down below is basically the business process or the process to apply to UB. So one, you have the application, and then you have the acceptance. And then after being accepted by the administration or the organization, we have to register for your courses, and then there's the job ad period, program completion, and then finally graduation. Continuing under the organization description, politics. Politics is competitive, although it does not affect or does not impact the implementation of utilization of information systems. So the politics doesn't really play a role in how the organization utilize their systems. Culture, conservative and liberal, using different platforms to meet each other. So like Google Meet, Zoom, and email to have communication with each other. And that creates a positive impact. Organization description continue. The environment, the university focus on the student service, professional development, character development, entertainment such as arts, culture clubs, student government, and much more, and safety of the students. Furthermore, it is the nation's leading educational and training institution. Our accessibility is to enable nation development, academic advancement, and improve standards of living and quality of life for the citizens of the region and beyond. So the management decision, the senior management team led by president of the university manages and monitors the university's strategic objectives and risks, steers its businesses, its financials, human and physical resources, and sets targets and benchmarks for the university. So in order, they have the president, then they have the vice president, then the director of finance, human resource director, and the administrative officer. Now we come into the different platforms that the university utilize in different systems. So one of those platforms is the Moodle platform. The Moodle platform, well, the Moodle team has its own vision and mission, which reads, the mission reads, the Office of Open and Distance Learning, ODL, provides stakeholders, students, businesses, working professionals, both national and international, with quality, non-credited and credited courses and programs. These courses and programs are developed internally and also in partnerships with other institutions and businesses. The vision, the Officer of Open and Distance Learning will be the university's hub for the development of quality, credited and non-credited continuing and higher education programs and courses. It will house the human and technical resources needed for the efficient management of online course development and delivery across the university. So the core values of the Moodle is to have team spirit and teamwork, very innovative, very professional, and adapt to different setbacks, good governance, and integrity. So as a platform, Moodle platform is used for students to take pretty much all tests and quiz. And it is also utilized by the school to put information out for the students so that they can get information that the course, which the course is, well, what is taught in the course. So the Moodle as a platform can be said that it is very helpful or very, very beneficial in applying learning or for allowing learning to happen, or teachers or lecturers to help their students learn in a better way online. Zenegrade. Zenegrade is pretty much the University of Belize Program Registration Center. So after being accepted into the university, to register, well, online, you have to use this website, or this platform, which is Zenegrade. It has invoices, grades report, and financial information about your account. It gives the latest updates on university policies and deadlines, and navigation tools to other university platforms if assistance is needed. So for this platform, Zenegrade, it's pretty much where you go to register and where to access information that university will update you on, such as deadlines like payments and fees, and also give the basic policies about different policies about the school. So it also is a means of paying financial for payment for finances for students. So using this website and this platform, you can also pay for your bill that is due. So as a platform, you can say it's very helpful for the university, because it helps students as well, because it helps the students to register for courses and pay for the courses, and it also helps the university by allowing students to register for courses and receive payments via online. Google App Suites. Google App Suites provide students with their own email to school assessment. So when joining UB usually gives you your own personal ID number, and using that ID number, you have your own personal email. It is embedded into your email. So with that, it allows students to access the different Google apps, such as Google Docs, Google Form, Drive Sheets. And this assists with also the Google App Suite also assists with communicating with students. So as many of you know, when you have classes, you will get a notification based on the time of your class, and you will get an email about the class time, and but also at the it also notify you about different class deadlines and different assessments that will be due. And it also gives students an opportunity to work with their peers. So using the email, you can have communication with your classmates based on different assignments, or teachers as well. Your lecturers can also send different presentations, different assignments, different work to the students. So as our platform, it holds a lot of value, pretty much with communicating and allowing students to give their best performance, and help them to assist them in having the resources to do their work.
And in the last part, I will add that it contributes to the success of the university. Due to that, it makes the registration process for students much easier, as in the process of in the rural areas. It makes it a little better, much better for the institution to gain more students and add more to their rep as it comes to a national university of Belize. It also makes the learning the learning accessibility for students throughout the country more, like I was saying in the first part, it makes accessibility to students more easier, especially in the rural areas. So as in, you can, if the rural areas will have internet, it will give them more access than students will have to come over to Brampton to join class. So with the internet aspect of it, it makes the learning possibility more better and far more easier. The idea, and it also in success to all its performance that my classmates stated before, it makes the student, it keeps students informed via, you have the UB email, you have the Moodle, and you have other emails and other internet accesses that makes it more informable for a student, so you can know what's going on. So I believe the internet is a success to the UB, and it's optional, as in whether it's face-to-face or it's online learning. So I believe that it contributes for the success for the University of Belize, and as in we're in the 20th century and we're moving forward, so it makes university a more accessible university compared to other universities that are already accessible. It's putting you be on a map here, and eventually in the future maybe we can go broader with the online, so we can have more students at the University of Belize.
And with that said, thank you for listening. Any questions? Next concern.
Thank you, Jalen. What happened to the other group members?
Well, Zoom is sick. Karen have her own personal reasons why she can't come, and Diona. I think Diona still at work, so only me and Gabriel can present tonight.
Okay.
Everyone contributed, or miss everyone did their part, because
everybody did.
I feel unfortunate tonight.
Okay. All right. So I'm hoping that Dome will feel better, and although your group members weren't able to present on this occasion, I'm hoping to hear from them in the other presentations. You still have 2 more projects that you have to present. So next time you put them on the spot, okay? All right, so in the interest of time, I'm going to let the individuals go ahead and tally your, just put your rubrics together. One person gave you a 0. They didn't fill in anything in the form. So if you give the group a 0, it's going to bring the grade down significantly. So just be careful if you're submitting the ratings. Make sure that you select each of them. Yes.
I'm going through this time, Mr. But I never picked nothing. I asked me to go straight through, and I never did answer. I think that I don't know. I'm going through, I never did answer nothing, Miss.
Oh, that was you. Okay, you didn't have to answer because you're in this group. All right, so I will see if I can disregard that one so that it doesn't affect your overall grade.
Excuse me, miss.
Comes from the class. Yes.
What's their topic? I didn't cite at the beginning.
All right. Jalen and Gabriel, go ahead and tell Juana your topic, please.
We spoke about the University of Belize, and when it comes to the information technology aspect.
Okay, thank you.
For strategic information systems.
Group number 4, you can get ready to share your screen.
Good night. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
I'm going to share the evaluation link once more, just in case you came in after it was shared. All right, so we're using the same link to evaluate this team, this group. Okay, group 4, you may go ahead.
So, Miss, one of my group members is having issue joining, but we'll go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Chanel, she's saying something about meeting passcode, Miss.
Meeting passcode. Usually students just click on the link and then they're able to get in. But let me find it quickly and I'll share it with you so you could give it to her. 1 second.
Okay, Miss. Okay, she's here, Miss. She got in.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So, good night, everyone. My name is Anela Williams, and my group members are Shanelle Arceo, Juana Chun, Tidisha Arzu, and Shanice Burns. Tonight, we will be presenting on the opportunities for strategic information systems.
Good night, guys. So my name is Chanel Arceo. I will be presenting on the discussion of UB's features, which includes the structured business process, politics, the culture, the environment, and the management decisions. So for the UB structure, I believe that the University of Belize structure is basically command and control, because everyone follows one rule, but in the contrary, not all lecturers would utilize Moodle for their courses. As a result, it then becomes difficult for the information system to be successful. And then it would be a much more easier if we would have all followed the structure, which would have been using Moodle to, utilize as a learning process. And the business process of UB that I had also found would have been that the UB uses applications, registrations, payments, and all of those type of stuff that we can use at the website. And I also believe these processes are not quite too organized, because if automation occurs, okay, so if automation occurs and an online component is added, then the business process does not change. The information system would have not also been so successful. And when it comes to politics, at UB, more or less the politics is an internal politics. The politics has to do with the competition and the struggles at UB. So it would be whenever we would have to contact basically the chairperson, and the deans are then rotated, and there's competition on who will then, take on the chair, to be the chairperson. And also the political resistance in peace organization change. Therefore, information systems are not successful because people do not want change. Next slide. So the culture at the University of Belize, there is not to be too strict or anything with it, but then I believe that the University of Belize, there is not really much academic freedom because there are rules and regulations that must be followed. For example, all of the courses are online and standardized. However, at UB, it is still professional because we do have highly educated teachers that still teach at UB, and then some teachers are also full-time workers and still decide to teach with us at the University of Belize. And this also means that they use technology, and as a result, the information system becomes much more easily and implemented because of their complementary assets of the human resources. Okay, and the environment, UB has a physical environment as well as an online environment, and it is easy to change. The social environment is created by teachers and students. There is also a good environment influenced by behavior, and this would result in a successful utilization and implementation of the information system. And lastly, our management decision. When it comes to our management decision at UB, I believe it is a bit complicated because there's always a need to go to a higher person. So that would be like the chairperson when it comes to registration. Sometimes we have complication also when it comes to registration. And the chairperson is also constantly dealing with issues instead of them dealing with what they actually are meant to be doing, which is their responsibilities. And the chair, like as I said, the chairperson are basically is doing things that they shouldn't be doing, so they're dealing with other stuff instead of doing what they actually should be. And as a result, it is hard to implement the information system. Next slide. I'll pass this on to my other class member.
Shanley, you could just say the name of the person who should be sharing this so they can continue.
Sure, Miss. I think probably Miss Arzu should be presenting on this, Miss. For some reason I cannot see the screen because then I'm okay. Now I can see it, but I think Miss Arzu is supposed to be presenting on this. Can I read it out for her, Miss? And I think she probably went to the store because I saw how she would have not been able to make it for her part. Is it okay that I read it?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Ms. Zur, her title was the online information system that can be accessed through the UB's website. And her opinion was that UB's organizational features greatly impact the successful implementation and utilization of the information system. The University of Belize website is set up that everything can be found and operated easily. And when the website is opened, you get the option to open either the student portal, the UB online campus, or student email. All of these are utilized by students, whether it is the register at the beginning of the semester or to be able to know what's going on with online classes. and then I'd also change the slide, and then I'll pass it on to my other class member, Miss.
Good night, Miss. Can you all hear me clear?
I can hear you.
Okay, so describe the online information system that can be accessed through UB's website, which are the Moodle, the Xenograde, and the Google App Suite. So Moodle is one of the modality that the University of Belize use for online learning, which enables the lecturers and students to create online courses. They add assignments and keep an eye sorry, miss. To create they add assignments and keep an eye on the students' progress. Not only that, but it helps the students to keep track of their grades and see how well their performance are at every end of the semester. It allows the UB lecturers to communicate with the students through forums and discussion. When it comes to Xenograde, it is the University of Belize Registration Center, where you can find invoices, grade reports, and final information. And it is one of the most used platform by the university as their main foundation to increase profits and enhance their service. It is a web-based system that is used by the students to register each semester. It also keeps track of their grade, and they monitor their progress of their overall course performance and requirements. It also gives the students access to their personal information such as their payments, receipts, and other instruction, like I mentioned at the beginning. And lastly, the Google app. So the University of Belize used email to communicate with students about the recent activities being held on campus and the latest updates that they have, such as different scholarships offer, forum discussions they have online or at the school. And during the pandemic, they mainly use the Google app, such as the Google Meet and Zoom, to do online courses. Next page, please. And how can we rate this information system? So this information system has been very successful to students because it gives the ability to let the students find information they need to carry out their tasks efficiently. It is very useful to students that are taking online courses due to work. It comes in handy when the pandemic started. It helps teachers and students to do courses online and complete their tasks. And lastly, they are enabled to use this system anywhere and anytime, such as in their homes or while on the move online, unlike being in a classroom. So I'll hand over to my next group member.
Good night, everyone. How these impact the successful implementation and utilization of the information system. So to start off, all these organizational characters has positively benefit the use and implementation of information system for the benefit of their clients, students, and students. The University of Belize has adapted to the advancement of information system. The technology is implemented and made accessible to the university students through monthly lease payment. The information system goal is to give instructors the tools they need to build their own personal website that are packed with dynamic courses to extend learning and allow students to participate in forums and tests at any time from any location. Students and employees can access a variety of tools and materials anytime, anywhere, thanks to Moodle Central online location. The department staff and students agree that the features they value the most include online assignment submission, quick document sharing, simple access to pertinent and useful online resources, and easy communication with other students and staff. The majority of the class assigned by the lecturer is conducted by several students at the University of Belize using Moodle. Because of this, information system is incredibly helpful and required for many classes. Many students had the chance to test the 6 success dimension and access well Moodle has helped them or would be able to benefit them.
So this is the end of our presentation, and throughout this presentation, we've given a description of the organization features. We've discussed how the information has impacted the success of UB, as well as we give information about the sites and information systems that are utilized at UB. Here are the references from where we got our information. Thank you.
Very good job, group 4 and group 3. I'm glad that everybody was able to share. The other part of your presentation was to answer the discussion questions, but I'm going to save that for our class on Thursday. You share the responses that you were able to come up with for the discussion questions of chapter 3. All right, at this time, I'm going to let the groups go ahead and tally your scores before we proceed. When we meet again on Thursday, we will be doing our presentations, and just like we did tonight, you'll be asked to fill out the form because you will be evaluating your peers. So encourage your peers to come out so your grades can be positively influenced by their feedback. On Thursday, groups 1 and 2 will be presenting. Also, I got a few emails from some members in the class. You were not seeing your Forum 2 grade, so I went back and I made sure everybody's grade was the same as I had in my spreadsheet. So what I have in my spreadsheet should be what you see on Moodle right now. But if you're still not seeing your grade for whatever reason, please send me a message, an email message. This is a partnership, so we must work together. I also want to remind you to, as you went through the rubric, make sure you have those components in your presentation. Group 4 did an excellent job summarizing their presentation at the end. All of your presentations need to have this. Your introduction, the content is what you cover in the body of your presentation. And of course, you must have something to close out your presentation and remind us of all the major points that you shared. As you go through, you need to justify what you're saying. If you have images and any supporting evidence, that helps you to accrue extra points. So part of the grade comes from the class. The rest of the grade comes from me, as I will be going through your presentation, the recording. I'll be going through it once more and ensuring that you met all the criteria that were listed in the rubric that's in our course outline document. So let me just quickly hear from groups 1 and 2. Are you guys ready for Thursday?
Yes, miss, I'm speaking on behalf of group 1. We are ready. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do, so it was just that Starla couldn't make it tonight, but we'll be ready for Thursday.
Okay. Group 2, what about you guys?
We are prepared as well, Miss. We have the slides and everything put together. We have distributed who would do what and who would be saying what section. So we are good to go.
Okay, that sounds good. I don't know if any of you were affected by the storm. I know a few students were affected. One student told me her house, the water came in and it met her at her waist. It was so bad. But I don't know if any of you were affected. We try to accommodate students and we try to understand, but I hope you guys were safe, and as the water runs off, that we don't have any more flooding for the rest of the year, because we do have quite a few storms and weather systems out right now.
Oh well, I'm just monitoring my house behind Lord's Bank, because the water normally takes a while before it runs down into that area.
Wow. So be safe, guys. And we do understand. We try to accommodate you, but we want you to do well. If you're falling behind in your assignments, that means you need to tighten up your socks and try to finish well. You started well. If you fall behind in an assignment or two, you need to make sure that for the next assignment, you complete that one and you get all the objectives done so that you can finish well. We don't want you to just start and then leave it. Finish well. I expect the best from you guys. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you on Thursday.